She quietly withdrew all her life savings from the bank, determined to live like a rich woman in a small city and spend every last penny in one go. But even on her very first flight, she still booked the cheapest economy seat. The space was already tight, and the man in front kept leaning his seat farther and farther back until he was practically sitting in her lap. Before Georgia could even say a word, the man called the flight attendant and filed a complaint. And without knowing anything about the situation, the flight attendant asked Georgia to make room for him, then casually called over the head steward for backup. In the past, Georgia might have stayed quiet to avoid trouble, but not anymore. She was done playing nice. She called out the airline's greed, saying they had crammed in as many seats as possible just to make more money. Even trains were more comfortable than this, and she wasn't about to spend the whole flight with a stranger basically sitting on her. Other passengers started nodding and chiming in, but the head steward had no patience for someone flying economy and daring to complain.
Had you chose to fly first class instead of economy, you would have had plenty of room in one of our cocoons.
How much for the damn cocoon?
Without hesitation, Georgia paid for the upgrade, and just like that, she was in first class. The treatment was a world apart. Not only did they serve gourmet meals, the flight attendants were suddenly extra attentive. When the plane landed, snow was already falling heavily. Outside, a long line of passengers waited for taxis. It could be hours before she got one. That's when Georgia noticed an ad in the corner. Private helicopter transport. She didn't think twice, dropped the cash and booked one on the spot. For the first time in her life, Georgia boarded a helicopter and flew straight to a 5-star hotel. What was normally a 2-hour drive took her just 30 minutes. Even though the hotel was filled with celebrities and VIPs, her entrance was so over the top, it left everyone whispering, wondering who she was. Inside, she was stunned by the luxury. Elegant murals lined the walls, and everyone staying there seemed to be someone important. Oil tycoons from the Middle East, beauty pageant winners she'd only seen on TV, and entrepreneurs enjoying the high life. And now, she, a regular sales clerk, was among them. But since she arrived so early, there were no standard rooms available. The only one left was the $4,000 a night presidential suite. The front desk assumed the price would scare her off, but Georgia simply asked,
Did you see me play?
Hearing she was taking the suite, the hotel manager rushed out to greet her. Georgia, wanting to tip like a real rich person, had no idea how much was appropriate, so she just stuffed all the bills in her hand into the bellhop's pocket. The poor guy broke into a cold sweat, refusing to take more than a single note. Looking out from her room, the snow-capped mountains behind the hotel took her breath away.
What world was I living in?
Georgia looked like a woman of wealth, but the truth would shock you. She was just a regular department store saleswoman. She worked hard, brought in solid numbers for the company, but her salary hadn't changed in 20 years. She got the same paycheck every month, used coupons to buy discounted groceries. Also, she could save for the dreams she had written in her notebook. If she had one joy in life, it was cooking. She loved food. Every night after work, she'd recreate dishes from cooking shows, exactly as shown, but she never ate them. She gave them to the neighbors' kids to try, while she ate bland salads to lose weight. Then one day during a checkup, the doctor gave her devastating news. She had a terminal illness. She didn't believe it. She went for a second opinion, even brought in a panel of specialists, but the diagnosis didn't change.